Welcome to our new YouTube studio. We are doing Spooky Spice, which is appropriately scary. Nothing is more scary than what's beyond the camera with my big old mess I made to make this happen. A little bit of chaos here. I think it's really important for Frond to reach out and show you what to do and what goes on in this crazy brain. I wanted to feature Spooky Spice this time, so we've got some spooky music in the background. The weather is spooky today, that's why my hair is so frizzy. It is extremely humid outside, July day, but I know many of you are planners and want to get into those fall projects. This is something that I made up, and I just wanted to show you a little bit of my process and how I embrace the quilt world without being too particular ever. Got my detox tea today. This is my wellness week. I'm being good. I'm actually gonna go for a run after this, but I have to put it in a wine glass to pretend. We have the two panel. You'll remember with Daydreams, the very first line we did with Northcott, we put the two panels together with a 1/2 inch seam allowance to make that big beautiful flower. We did that because we screen print, and the screens, I can get screens, which is the most I can get with the 24-inch repeat. We did the same thing to put the tree together with the panels up and down. That's why this is like this with the moon. The neat thing about it is they stand alone as well as a panel, so they look beautiful on their own with the panel quilt, any of your most popular patterns that you like. Some of them are on our website. You can also stack them. Problem is, when I did that, I had some issues with the selvage, so I had to cut that off. Got a little bit of space here. If you're somebody that really bothers, just take some fabric paint, go in there, paint over that. We talked about that in last introduction to this. Basically very, very simple. Started out with a 9-inch square, cut up another panel. We've got the two panels that are our feature. We cut up another combination of the two panels. I love these. These are like to die for. These are from Martelli, and we have these at the studio. You can find them online from Martelli. Martelli is one of my favorite companies. This is their light here. We had all of their tables for our warehouse staff when we were printing our own fabric. Because they're ergonomic and they go up and down, nobody has to be bent over all day. They're very innovative. The team is so great. Every time we would go out on the road and do shows, they were part of our show family. It was always nice to see everybody experiencing the shows, the different areas of the country together, from Florida to California, all over. I'll show you how I use them. As an artist, I can look at a panel, even though I've painted it. Our panels come with that dotted line. We cut off one for that center. You can see one of these blocks where the tree is holding the jack-o'-lantern audition sign for the pumpkins, of course. I thought that would be really cool. So I took my window and I held it there, and that's what gave me the idea to go ahead and do a 9-inch block on that. They also have coordinating block here. It has a padded feature on the other side until I've been using it, so it doesn't slip, which is important. You can come out into the selvage if you need to. We're going to be taking over that with a 4th-inch seam allowance. So we're putting our Martelli block in there, and then we take our rotary cutter and cut around where we wanted that to be featured. This is where we would be cutting that out, and that's what gives us our block. So it just kind of gives you an idea. I've gone on and done that with the pumpkin. I've done it with the part of a tree because I noticed there was kind of another face in the tree, which was kind of cool and creepy. I want you to notice the bottom. I did not plan this out. I don't plan anything when I quilt, so I just cut the bottom off. It is not going to be a 9-inch square, and remember, we did 9-inch on this. If you want to use the Martelli squares and do 9.5, it's not going to hurt anything. You're going to have plenty of fabric to do that, okay? Everything I do is an experiment. I experimented with the moon vase. I put some metallic thread in there. I switched out all my threads as I quilted it. As you know, we sell Innova and Juki here, so I play a lot with our Innova machine. That is our long arm. I changed out all my thread. The moon is metallic. Then there's a variegated blue around that side, variegated red here, and I did black in the tree. It was very time consuming. It was really fun. The side here that is the 9 inches we kept intact as a square, okay? Then we did our beautiful 24-inch panels, and then we went to a 6 3/4 block, just because that's what I felt looked nice. So this row closest to the panel is going to be 6 3/4 block, okay? Then I took my ruler and I cut some off just haphazardly. There's no rhyme or reason. See, there's a full square there, and then we go to a jagged. You can see how much thicker that one is. Put the black back on, put over some with the spiderweb fabric, the sheer, onto the yellow as well, crazy spirals, and then the pumpkin. That particular block is only 6.5. And I was just playing. Every time I quilt something, I'm just playing. I'm testing my boundaries, what I can do, what I want to do. You can go all the way up to the top. Now the very, very top, see how bright yellow that is? When you get your kids, you're going to be like, hey, I didn't have that plaster of Paris in my, that's not a plaster of Paris. I actually cut from the yellow in the panels that I had. told you that side of the room was scary. So anyway, that's all you have to do with this. I'm going to show you what you get in your kit. So you're going to get 2 panels of the pumpkin, 2 panels of the moon. One is our fussy cut for the 9-inch blocks and pieces of the other side. You're going to get fat quarters of the pumpkin fabric, so cute. on its own. The swirls, I cannot wait until the end of August when I can share with you our new Halloween line that's coming out called Bittersweet for next year. The stripe, your 3 plaster colors. Now there is another great purple one in this collection as well. Now all the plasters are their own line, so you can order those at any time on their own, which I'm so excited. It's an ongoing reorderable fabric for stores and for you to keep things in your stash. Frond is so different. If your stores don't have Frond, maybe encourage them to order it. Just experience that. We're going to be doing so many more YouTube tutorials. It's really my main focus. I've wanted to do it since I signed with Northcott and even before then, because it's so important to show you what I'm thinking when I'm designing the line and sharing that creativity with you. That's part of passing that creative baton around together. So we paint the fabric, think of the projects, and then share it with you, and then you get to put your spin on it, which is the most exciting part. This is the spider web stuff that's fun, and that's what I've been using on this. Now I'm gonna say, full disclosure, I have not laundered this. This was meant to be a wall runner because of the 2 panels up and down. So I imagined this on a staircase wall, a cathedral ceiling wall, something that you need a big, fun, take up a big area. That's what this was designed for. You'll get all of this in your kit though to do that. A little instruction sheet with the squares that I cut, how I did that, and then of course the link to this YouTube. I'll put the link on paper. We'll also put it on our website so you have this, so you can go right to this to do this kit with me. And then if you have any questions too, please email me always at orders@FrondDesignStudios.com. I am doing a lot of things right now. I have a quilt guild meeting tomorrow night. If you ever want me to come to a guild and do a talk or a class, I am available to do that. Liberate that inner artist. Even when I first started painting, it was hard to come to terms with the fact that I was an artist. I really resisted it. You're supposed to put that part away and go do something worthwhile, organized, and I've just never been wired that way. Everybody has their own strength. Time management is not mine. So keep in mind, we just did this in strip art, 9-inch. We just get to where the end is, where these panels end. If you are somebody that's more particular, you may want to measure out exactly where you want it. I just felt like this has such a easy breezy kind of look to it, and so just having these a little off doesn't hurt it. Well, there is purple in here, so there'll be a fat quarter purple in there too. Let me go get that. So this purple, the gold, our orange, and our rosy red. Okay? So those will be the plasters. Everything will be a fat quarter. That's plenty to do this. You'll probably have some left over. If you want to make up a little pillow or anything like that to go with it, that would be fun too. Maybe we'll do a tutorial on that. Next tutorial will be the never-ending art weave that has been dogging me since I started it. I'll show you just a sneak preview. It's really cool, but it takes a long time. So I took our canvas and I'm putting 2 panels. You need 2 panels of one side of the iris to cut it up and then cut it sideways. Then you weave them together. Then I was heat and bonding it down to the canvas and sewing it down in sections so it stays on the canvas. I think I'm gonna do the other side a little up higher just so it's a little off. I just like the look of that. It's meant to be very abstract. I'm hoping to get this done because we're doing a class, like I've said before, in Jefferson at the Stitch, and I just wanted to bring a bunch of examples to show you how you can make this your own. You can do raw edge, you can sew it down. There's so many possibilities with this. It just adds texture. I got this idea from an artist a long time ago. Her name was Lil Baronic. I'm sure she's still around because she's very sassy, but I don't know if she still lives in Mount Vernon. She was ripping raw cotton canvas and then weaving them together, stapling them to, the frame, and she would just pour paint on them. I was just so struck by it. It was so simple, but it was so beautiful and so textured. She would do solid colors, so you would just be taken into the room of yellow or the view of blue. Thanks again for tuning in. We are going to try and do YouTubes every day. We definitely the content here at Frond. Hang in there with me, and thank you for tuning in, and thank you for your support as always. I also wanted to take a minute and just thank everybody that ordered this. Mary, Vicky, Barbara, Terry, everybody that ordered Spooky Spice, and if there's anybody I forgot, I'm so sorry, but I'm so happy that you like it and can appreciate it, and we'll get those kits out to you by the end of this week with the instructions and obviously with this video ready to go. Thanks for your patience, and anybody else that would like to order it, we have a few different options online, some of the kits, and then this, of course, this original design. Thanks everybody, and have a great night.